Hey, what's going on, you guys? John Shea here with the No Shame Income Vlog, and today I actually have a really interesting video I wanted to share with you guys. I'm going to actually be talking a little bit about why I decided to make a massive shift in my business as of recently, kind of give a little bit of background as to why I decided to do this, and give you guys a little bit more of a backstory in terms of my own journey, and really talk about why I decided to make this shift, and really where I view entrepreneurship as a whole in terms of the things that I've been doing online, the experiences that I've had, the failures, the successes, and really just dive into some of that today in this video and talk about why I'm actually making this change. So before we dive into today's video, if you guys are brand new here on the channel, you decide that you really like my content, feel free to throw me a thumbs up on the video. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell notification, and yeah, we'll be doing tons of new content here as we move forward into 2020. Let's dive into today's video. Alright, so we're over on my desktop, and I actually thought I'd kind of bring you guys through a little bit of some of my journey. I'm over here on my blog, No Shame Income, and I thought I'd talk about this first because this isn't the very first thing that I started out with online, and at the time when I created this brand or this idea, it was more about me just being transparent in the world of internet marketing. The name was sort of generic enough that I could talk about anything, right? I could do product reviews, I could talk about $30 internet marketing products, I could talk about blogging, I could talk about marketing agency stuff. It's kind of allowed me to be a little bit left open. So I'm not actually going to change my brand. For good reason, I don't really want to spend the time trying to redo all my YouTube stuff, my logos, my branding, getting another domain, which is something I've done in the past. And many times I've already felt like, I guess you could say, I've started over in a lot of ways. But a big thing that I've really been trying to figure out for a long time is, what is something that I'm truly passionate about that I can help people with, also make a living, not needing to work a 9-to-5 job, while still having the freedom to go and do other things like chill out with my family or go hang out with friends, or decide in the middle of the day I feel like playing Call of Duty, then I can make that decision and do something like that. So what I wanted to do in this video is kind of break down a little bit of background. For those of you who haven't, I do have a pretty in-depth, really long story post that I wrote about all the things that I tried over the years, and was very much in the shiny object syndrome for many years, just kind of jumping around from thing to thing to thing. And in 2016, I kind of had to make a hard decision. I had gotten basically let go from my job, and I had already been doing this stuff for quite some time, since 2012, and it had moderate amounts of success doing different things. But ultimately I hadn't felt confident enough to leave my job. And eventually I ended up doing that, and basically got let go from this position late 2016, and I said, you know what, now's the time to make this work. I'm going to do whatever it takes to figure it out. And I ended up partnering up with someone. We kind of collaborated on some courses and things that I had created over the years around doing pretty much everything related to running a digital marketing agency. So I had one of my very first courses that I created was about how I'd gone out there and done web design, worked with businesses, like whether or not they were local or national based, and pretty much kind of ran with that and decided for that to be my main focus, was mainly working with clients and also selling and teaching other people how to go out there and start a digital marketing agency. Now, I've actually done fairly well with these offers. I've done webinars, I've created smaller products that have turned into bigger launches, making me anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000. I made a software product that's generated me now well over $50,000, all things related to running a digital marketing agency. I've also worked with many agencies over the years, whether or not it was doing commission-based sales, working for myself. The job that I left in 2016 was working for an agency that I'd been with for almost a year. So I've kind of been in this world for a very long time. I've been doing it for really about 5 years. I've gotten pretty good at it. I'm fairly confident I can go out there and sell clients. I can easily close these big $3,000, $4,000 a month clients. I have partners that actually help me with a lot of the work. I've built systems around most of the stuff. But at the end of the day, a big thing that has really been an issue for me, and I realized this after spending, I think it was in 2018 or 2019, I decided to go out and I spent $3,500 on a mentorship program, which was all about going out there and basically utilizing Facebook to generate leads for business owners. So it wasn't too much different from the things I'd been doing, right? I'd been going out there doing websites and selling SEO. At the end of the day, the goal was the same, was to get leads and get more customers for business owners. So for me, I kind of ended up in this place where I was doing all these different things, and it wasn't like I wasn't having success or wasn't getting clients. I have a pretty long roster of businesses that I've built websites for, done SEO for, and I've made a substantial amount of money doing it. And I still make more than enough even right now with the clients I have that I have a full-time income coming through. The problem was that at the end of the day, every time I looked at this stuff, no matter how good I felt I was at it, I constantly just said to myself that I'm not really happy with what I'm doing. I would go and actually close clients. I had a client that closed even within the last few months, and I closed them for $3,800 a month. Now I know to some of you that's like a really big deal, right? Being able to get a client. In my world, that replaced my old salary. Like that one client is what I used to make at a salary position. But at the end of the day, I really wasn't happy or satisfied. And the other part of it was I didn't really feel excited about helping businesses with this stuff. Like it didn't do anything for me. Like at the end of the day, the only thing it was doing for me was making me money. And while that's something that obviously I do want to be doing and making more money, I was having a hard time feeling excited about it, right? If I could go out there and close this big client, it's kind of like you get this burst of excitement initially, and it's like, okay, yeah, I just made a bunch of money and I got this big client. But all the other things that I was dealing with when it comes to working with business owners and the idea of doing all this stuff just really kind of got to bother me over time. So, as I said, when I started this, I was someone that started out many years ago, and I thought I'd show this, I was someone that was teaching online. And when I first started, I was teaching all sorts of different subjects. I would go and make courses about, outsourcing, and I did stuff on blogging, and I was doing all these different courses, right? So this was something I knew I was passionate about, was creating courses, and I was kind of creating courses around things that I'd tried over the years, but most of these things never really came to light in terms of like me being able to make a full-time income, whereas going out there and doing SEO work for business owners was something that I actually did really well with and was able to make a substantial amount of money with. So like I said, in 2016, I took this course called How to Start Your Own Digital Marketing Agency, and I kind of rebranded it to more of an SEO focus. I called it the SEO Consulting Blueprint. I stopped updating it on this Udemy platform because, as you can see, they very much discredit how much they sell this course for. They have it on sale right now for $14. So if I make a sale on that, I'd probably get roughly half or less than that. So most people who were buying it at this price point weren't taking it very seriously. They simply just were not very committed to the model, knowing how much work goes into it. And I personally found that, why don't I start focusing my energy on building out a bigger course? So in 2016, I hired a mentor to help me get all this going. I basically built a whole sales page around it. I was promoting it. I was writing emails. I was doing all these different things. And while I was doing all of this, I got really excited by the idea of writing story-based emails and actually creating content that when I ran ads or I had people coming through from YouTube, like you guys watching this now, you could end up going and opting into my email list. You might get an ebook that I wrote, and then that would lead you down this path of all these emails and this content that I've created, and eventually you would see an offer to buy my course. So I thought this was really interesting because I was actually able to basically get a lot of people buying my stuff while I had all this automation in the background just working for me, all these emails working for me. And the idea of that really intrigued me. It intrigued me more than even selling this course and talking about this topic. It was more the idea of building out these automations, these assets. And at the end of the day, I could have been selling, dog training, right? It was more the concept of the emails and the automations and the idea that I'd spent all this time on this asset, right? Building out these emails, and that could continue to generate sales for me maybe a year or 2 years later. And I actually ended up proving this concept out. I went out and I had run ads in 2017 and kind of dived into this for the first time, having a little bit of fear around it. I basically said, you know what? I'm going to run some ads, I'm going to spend some money. And at the time, spending $50 or $100 a day is a lot of money to me. That was like in a month, right? It's like basically a paycheck at an old job. So I was very nervous going into all of that. But what ended up happening was all the people going through my email sequences and my automations would end up buying this program. And at the end of the day, I would actually either break even on my sales or I would make a profit. So it was pretty interesting because at that point I was able to take that email list and continue promoting additional products and services to them. And that's how I was making a substantial amount of money. This proved out to be even more so when Black Friday came around this past year. I was actually at Thanksgiving with my wife's family. And while I was there, I was on my cell phone and I kept getting all the emails for all the Cyber Monday and Black Friday deals. And I actually sat down for about an hour or two. I took a template from ClickFunnels. I whipped together this nice sales page that was pretty easy to put together because the design was basically done. I just changed around the copy and the words. And then I put together a bundle of like some of my products and services, and I sent out a mass email, queued up 2 more emails to go out all within that same hour. So I basically had an email going out that day, the next day, and the following day. And I said, hey, I'm offering this deal only for like Black Friday weekend. And I think I reopened it for a day on Cyber Monday, and I ended up getting something like 5 or 6 sales for $297. So it was pretty amazing because I managed to make basically about $1,500 from literally sitting down for about an hour and writing up a bunch of emails. So the idea of that was much more exciting to me. The idea that I built this audience almost entirely for free and I could continue to promote different offers and products. And you know, when I look around at everything that I've been doing online over the years, one of the biggest things that I've noticed is almost every entrepreneur, every person that I've ever followed, they have an email list and they use that email list to sell products and services. So whether or not that's affiliate products or their own products, it was something that I felt is extremely powerful. It's not going away. It's still something that people use each and every day. Everyone has to use email because, you know, if you think about it, right, you go log into Netflix, you use an email to log into Netflix. So people like constantly are looking at their email. It's something in the back of their mind. So what I wanted to do is, for me, I kind of, because of the fact that I've become sort of, not necessarily, I don't want to say like, what's the best word? I guess I just haven't been as excited about the agency stuff. It's really kind of put a dent in me in terms of like what it is that I really want to be doing. I couldn't look 5 years in the future and say, oh, I really want to have an office and I want to have all these employees and I want to be running a digital marketing agency and helping people with SEO. Like, that just did not excite me. The idea of it, to be honest, it absolutely sucked. Now, I've made a lot of content on this over the years. As I've said, I've created courses. I feel like I've done actually pretty well with it. I've taught a lot of people how to do this stuff. I have a lot of students that look up to me, that ask me questions, they email me. And for those of you who do still follow me, you know, if you were to email me today and say, hey, you know, what is your current strategy for getting clients? I'd still reply to you. I'd still maybe shoot you a quick Loom video, and I'd still help anyone that's asking. So I don't want to tell anyone that, hey, I'm not going to be helping you with this. But really the point of this video was that I wanted to let you all know that I'm kind of transitioning into more of email automation. And a lot of the videos and the content that you're probably going to see from me moving forward is going to be more solely based around this topic. I've already gone ahead and I actually rebranded my entire homepage of my blog. I put together a free ebook that I call the Email Automation Formula. It kind of breaks down some of the things that I talk about here in this video today. And this is mainly the direction that I'm going to be heading. I'm basically going to be working with business owners, entrepreneurs, people that want to go out there and utilize an email list to build assets so they can go out there and actually start marketing their products and services through automation, meaning setting up assets like email campaigns, email stories, sequences that you could write now and could still be selling for you maybe months or even years later. So I've been really spending a lot of time with this. I thought I'd sneak peek some of the things that I did. So I'll give a high level, and I showed this in one of my last videos, but I put together this entire email sequence, which spans basically about 2 weeks of content for my SEO consulting blueprint offer. And then at that point forward, I promoted other affiliate offers, some of my own products, and a couple other affiliate offers that some of my good friends have. And in reality, this particular sequence, anytime I spent $5 to $10 on a Facebook ad to get a lead, I would actually make all my money back from the sale of the SEO consulting blueprint. And where this really got magical was at this point, anytime moving forward, people that came in and continue to go through these automated sequences, like for example, buying the scope leads offer, I would continue to generate commissions and all the profits were 100% free from this point forward. And it also allowed me to get to a point where I was able to build a substantial list of contacts. You can see I have almost 8,000 contacts in my active campaign system. So at any time, if I want to send out an email broadcast and promote a particular product or service, whether or not it's my own or someone else's, it's pretty much an instantaneous way of making money. So anyway, I thought what I would do is let you guys know this is the direction and path that I'm heading. I already created a Facebook group I call Email Automation Secrets. So if the idea of this stuff, if you guys listened all the way through this video, if you love the idea of this, you're like, hey, I really want to start implementing email automation in my business, definitely go below. I'm going to leave a link to my Facebook group. You'll have an opportunity as well. I'll put another link where you can go ahead and download my ebook, the Email Automation Formula. I've already had a few of my friends read through the ebook and they basically said that I probably should be charging for it. And I'm actually giving that away 100% for free. So definitely check that out. And if you have any comments, any feedback, I'd love to hear from you. Again, for those of you listening, maybe that are my current students, or if you even decide, hey, you end up buying the SEO Consulting Blueprint, I'll still support students. I'll still answer questions for those of you maybe who have been following along, seeing some of the things that I've already been doing in the agency space. I'm not going to completely abandon students or people that have questions, but moving forward in the future, everything I'm going to be focused on is all about email marketing automation. And the reason for that, again, as I said, is because I'm super passionate about this stuff. And it's something that I looked ahead in the future and said, you know what, I could be doing this years from now, and I think I'm really going to enjoy myself doing it. And that's really the whole reason I got involved in entrepreneurship, was so that I could do something I enjoy, make a lot of money doing it, help other people with it, and at the end of the day, basically free up all my time. So that's exactly what this is going to allow me to do. Anyway, if you guys have any questions, comments, feel free to leave a comment below, and be sure to jump in my Facebook group and download that ebook if you're interested in this.